Right. Good evening everybody and welcome along to another week of SAF1 Esports action, and this week we are bringing you all the action from the Circuit de Villeneuve in Canada. Last week was hectic in Baku with very tense finish, and Conrad got on the top step once again. Can he make it 3 in a row? We'll find out later on, but qualifying's first, and we have 15 drivers and most of them are wearing white helmets today to commemorate the shining light that was the iconic legendary voice of Mr. Murray Walker, who sadly passed away over the weekend at the age of 97, so I'll be paying my own tribute to him later on in the stream. But for now, looks like Quintin in the Haas is on the lap. A 19.5. Sector 1 is not too bad on the mediums. I don't think there's much to be gained from at this part of the session, so we'll hopefully get a better camera angle of him and we will see him activate the DRS there. Or press the button anyway. It's not, oh, there's an invalidation, so that's not helpful. Let's go to somebody else who's still valid, so that is Alonso there, coming up to the hairpin. Has a car behind him, has a car in front. Again, nicely gets out the way there, Mackett, thank you very much for that. And there's an Alpha Tauri just behind Alonso, and that would be the car of somebody else. Takes the World Championship chicane quite nicely there. Oh, sorry, it's a Williams there, so that could well be Nadim there on a lap. Oh, he validated there, but Phantom went there. There we go, it was Phantom, not Nadim, who... Conrad, 108, there we go, he's off again. It's going to be a long afternoon for some of the drivers if he keeps this up, but... Last week's driver of the day was the championship leader, Mad Trav. Had a bit of a solid drive, and this week my attention in the pre-race interviews was for Nadim, not Nadim, Trav's teammate Matt in the on the Renault, Knight and Risky, and Quintin in the Mercedes. I welcomed Risky, and I know that it's a good track for him to debut at, and I just wondered what he was looking for the rest of the season. And Risky thinks coming in later season is always difficult, but he's sure he'll settle in quite quickly, as we're still on board with Nadim, as he's looks like he's going for another lap there, but we'll see if he yeah, he's definitely on for another lap, so we'll stay on board with him as I finish off Risky's pre-race interview. And he's looking at the top 10 and hoping he can get there come the end of the season, so that would be good to see. And he's joining about halfway through, so that could be a decent effort for him. Yeah, lifted off a little bit round there around the World Championship chicane just to make sure he didn't invalidate, but that's definitely cost him, as he cannot improve his position. Slightly improved his time, but not by enough. Right, he's also out on the mediums, and he's doing a few laps now just to get used to how they feel. Here comes Trav, and let's find someone, hopefully, to ask a question to, and that is just horrendous. Never mind, I know what's going on there. Just a little bit of lag as he's using our hotspot, I believe, and apparently it's also on the wheel, so we'll see what he does on the wheel. But that is pretty bad to get used to. So if he's a little bit slower tonight, that is why. But let's just see if his lines through the first couple of corners hinder him at all. You know, sector 1, you'd think, okay, that's definitely a problem. I can't look at that anymore, sorry. We have Calvin Racing, hasn't come out yet. But anyway, Quintin last week became a victim of the castle section, and I did ask him about that. I just asked him if there were any areas of concern for tonight, and he said, "Yep, the Wall of Champions section." So I'll look for him to have any potential incidents there. As we have a nice little shot of the pit lane. I just took my eyes off the screen for just a second. No idea what's going on anymore. Qualifying just comes up at you, and then everyone is all over the track, and that is Renault having a problem there. Not really sure why or what happened there, but talking to Redeem as he just failed to improve his position earlier on. I did ask him a question as well in the pre-race. Well, Phantom has invalidated, so let's go on board with Travis. Now back out after his incident and is on the soft tyres, so clearly wasn't feeling what was going on, so he's put some more tyres on, and we'll get back to him shortly. Let's find someone that's actually on a lap for once. No, that's invalidated. Does anyone want to set a lap for me? No, apparently not. Okay, cool. Let's go on board with Alonso in the McLaren as he's about to start a flying lap. Let's give him all the airtime, no pressure, but we're all watching you. See what kind of line it takes for turns 1 and 2. Pretty good there. I mean, he comes over the little sort of right king to turn 3 and 4 chicane there. Takes that quite well. A little bit of grass on the inside, that's perfectly fine. And then the first corner where Sebastian Vettel made a mistake around this track and cost him a race win against Jenson Button in that memorable wet 5-hour long race. But no such issues, and here comes the second Vettel problem corner. But no such issues again for Alonso as he negotiates them safely in qualifying. But of course, both the Vettel mistakes were in the race, so anyhow. Let's see what kind of lap time he does for his first time around. Let's go on board with him as he negotiates the final chicane. Pretty good there. Let's go back off board and see what he can do as he crosses the line. P8 with a 109.3. Just a thousandth quicker than Ray. He will be out there again shortly. In fact, he's out there now on an outlap, and just there's a lot of cars out there on an outlap. Speed Knighton goes through. There we go. Let's have a look at him crossing the line actually. Yeah, he's invalidated, but I'm not surprised given that Trav accidentally got in the way there, so that could be an issue for him later, but that's for the stewards to talk about. Possibly a little bit of an infringement there. Don't think there's any malice in it, just poorly timed. It's okay. Let's have a look at what he can do now, although I don't know what's going on with the timing for him. It's all kind of messed up, but on board with the Calvin. Seems to go purple through sector 2, so that's always a positive sign. But let's see if he can keep that momentum up into the final corner and see if he can nail the line there to really capitalise on that purple sector. And Quintin's just gone P2 there with a 108.3. Didn't see it, but we'll check out his competitors very shortly. There you go, Calvin up to P6, not a bad effort at all. But yeah, Quentin on his retirement last week, he pulled a Charles Leclerc. I am so stupid. but he's definitely knows that the final corner is an area of concern for not just him. It's a popular spot to pick up time penalties and wing damage for other people as well. I believe that will be, so he's looking forward to the track. It is one of his favourites, and the podium will be a great bonus, and I would love to have a chat with him after the race on the podium. This is in the pit lane there. Quintin with a horrendous Haas engine there. I cannot listen to that much longer, sorry. Wow, we've got this far. I haven't even looked at the standings for you guys today. So, as you might expect, Trav extended his lead at the top by a little bit. He's on 204 points, and Mackett is in P2 after his podium with 165, and then Conrad has played himself into the top 3 there with 160 points after another dominating win last week. As I said at the top, he's looking for 3 in a row. Can he do it? Well, only one way to find out. And then he's just jumped Nadeem, who's had a bit of a downturn in form lately, but hopefully he can, well, I'll give you his thoughts next time I see him on the track, as I did ask him a question. With 159, and then Matter on 125, there's Hardy 103, Brandon 78, as is Ray, and then Phantom 75, Quintin, other Quintin in the Merc, sorry, 72, Knighton's on 55, Alonso 48, Matty 47, Vino 46, not here tonight, Duke's now 21, not here. And Haas, Quintin, 18, and all the other full-time drivers yet to get off the mark. But Williams still lead the constructors by with 256 points. If the lead by 256 is an issue, Renault have 250, Mercedes 237, Red Bull just a point ahead of AlphaTauri on 193, 192, Racing Points at 168. Alfa Romeo 134, McLaren almost took the century with 93, so they'll be looking for a strong out in there from Risky tonight to try and get them past that 100 point mark. Ferrari as well, 91, and Haas on 64, so they're ticking along nicely, and perhaps McLaren and Ferrari could jump into the past 100 point barrier tonight. We will see. But I'm really excited for this one. It's a very popular track with the drivers, and very popular with commentators alike. Conrad, there you go. He's come to play. He definitely wants a title. The team's still not on track, so we'll go on board with Mackett, who's playing himself into contention very nicely as well. Well, he seems to have invalidated there, so I can explain why he's a little bit slower than he usually would be. Has he got any damage, or is it just an invalidation? Has he clipped a wall anywhere? I don't think he has. I think he's okay, he's just backed off. The team's finally out on track, so good to see him there as he gets out the way for the Haas. But is the Haas on a lap? I don't know. I'm on board with him for now, but we'll go back to reviewing very shortly, as he's got to be closer to doing Quintin's on and out lap there, so never mind. So Hardy's coming around there slower, but Speed 9's about to start a lap, so let's go on board with Speed and let's see what he can do. As he comes into turn 1 and 2, clips the curb nicely into 1 and 2 a little bit. Yeah, that seems fine to me. That's probably why I'm in the it's a very tricky corner to get right. You could either clip the wall or invalidate your lap there, so that's tricky to negotiate. In qualifying, a little bit easier in the race, where you're not concerned with losing so much time through there, but here it means a lot more. But he is a little bit up on his time still, but he definitely could have taken that previous turn a little better, so that's cost him some time. And that's, well, I mean, there doesn't appear to be anything wrong with the car apart from the fact that the wheel's fallen off. Yeah. Anyway, here comes Risky. McLaren won a strong showing tonight. He'll be desperate to give them one, and that is a potential top 10 finish, and that's a unique way to get out of the way, I suppose. Anyway, Nadeem, what you got, lad? He's about to finish his lap. It's all gone off there. Matt has retired in the pit lane. Nadeem takes that quite well. He looked like he'd nailed that, and let's see where it puts him. He's into P3. He's still half a second off Conrad, who is showing absolute mighty pace all of a sudden. He started the season slowly, but he's red hot right now. Talking of Nadeem, I did ask him if he's going to be back at it tonight. He hasn't had a podium for a couple of weeks, which the consistency was putting him right in the picture, but he hasn't been up there of late, so just wondered if he was going to be back at it tonight. And he has lost a few points lately through no fault of his own, so that's not entirely his fault, but he's confident he's got the pace to go on a consistent run again and gain back points in the Drivers and Team Championship, so that would be good. And I'm looking forward to seeing the battle between him, Trav, and seemingly Conrad now as well, and Mackett can be up there as well, so there's going to be a lot of people, and this could be in this race for the title come the end of the season, but they really need to start improving now, otherwise it will be a two-horse race. And here comes Nadeem. Let's see if we can improve on this lap, as the checkered flag will be out, so this will be it for him. He could not. Just a small decrease in time there. But here comes Mackett, who's going slowly, so he's red sector. There we go. Don't know what's going on with that. That's an unusual. Yeah. He comes right in the Alfa Romeo. Haven't seen much of him tonight. And let's see, nope, he didn't improve. It says Matrav's on an out lap, which can't really be true at this stage of qualifying, but if it is, oh, he's got a puncture, he's in trouble, oh dear. That could explain a lot. It's going to be painful to get back to the pits from there as well. He's just the other side of that wall, so doesn't have far to go, but he has to crawl around to reduce the risk of further damage. But this is not going well for him. The championship leader is not having things his own way of late, and having to race on a wheel tonight I think has just thrown his, not confidence, but he's thrown his momentum and rhythm for a bit of a loop, and it's not going to be the best qualifying, but he's still in a decent position of P7 behind him. Yeah, we've just seen the struggle there. He's trying to get out the way, and even the AI cars won't pass him. We'll go on board with one of them just so we don't have to bear that for a bit. This, I mean, I don't think anyone will blame Trav if he retires on track. I know you're not meant to, but I don't think anyone would mind. Or, you know, get disqualified. That helps too. I don't think it's his fault, but there you go. Retired on track. Never mind. See, he's listening to me. Anyhow, Conrad takes another pole position. Quintin, a very good P2 for him, and the team's up there in P3 as well. So this could be a lightning start, and Mackie just behind him too. With the matter even still close there. There's three people very close there for third place, so that's awesome to see. Calvi P6, first time here. Matrav P7 again. I don't want to touch on that any further than I just did, but decent lap that he did get in. A risky P8. I'm sure he can improve on that with a bit of slipstream, but got beaten by 1,000th. I didn't notice that. And then 7,000 behind him is Quintin in the Haas. Very tight gaps from position to position, but a bit would have liked to have seen it a bit closer at the top. But Conrad is on another level right now. Vino in 10th and Zardi 11th, Knighton in 12th. 1,000th between Alonso and Wright in 13th and 14th. This is very close there, and Phantom brings up the rear in P15, and we're just waiting for everyone to progress into the next part of the race weekend here on a Monday, in which it is 6:47 UK time, which means it's 8:47 South African time and 8:47 Central European time, and 47 minutes past something else in many other parts of the world. But I'm not sure why we're stuck on this screen at the moment, so bear with me while I find out if there's an issue. But it's a bit unusual to be stuck on this screen. There we go. Trav was the issue there, unfortunately. Not sure if he's going to be back with that, but we'll see. Anyway, we are shortly going to be on the grid for this Canadian Grand Prix, and I'm very much excited for the start. But I shall be falling silent for the formation lap, as we remember the legendary commentator Mr. Murray Walker, who is the voice of mine and many other people's in this community's childhood. So although he was 97, it's still a very sad loss which hits us all very, very hard. So this formation lap will be in remembrance of him. And yeah, let's hope it's going to be a great race, but I will see you on the other side of this formation lap. And 5 red lights, and it's go, 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 go. There's an enormous amount of wheel spin there as Conrad leaves everyone in the dust there as he goes through turn 1. And is there anything going on in the midfield? Doesn't look like it. Everyone's just jostling for position, but I think there's a little bit of bodywork going flying there. There's a safety car already. Safety car deployed. Safety car's already deployed, and it's happened immediately. This is fascinating. But Calvin's not in the lead of this race as much as he'd like to be. The timing tower has just gone absolutely insane, as it always does. The real leader is Conrad there, you can see. Quintin as it was, and it will be for a while. And there's an opportunity for some people outside the top 10 that are on the soft tyres to perhaps change strategy a little bit, but at this point I really wouldn't try it. It's probably better to stay on the softs and have a little bit of a longer first stint than you're planning, but the safety car will definitely help with that. But now of course, if any of them have damage, they will be in, of course, but let's just see if I can find out whose bodywork that was that I saw just flying about between turns 2 and 3. I guess there's only one way to find out. Keep an eye on Conrad's in as the leader. It's probably a wise choice. He's going to possibly go another softs or hards or mediums. Those are the only choices he's got. He's gone for the medium tyre. It's a strange strategy call there, and Nadim stays out in P3, which would benefit him a lot, as Mackett stays out as well, and Quintin leads the race. 2 Mercedes, actually 3 Mercedes at the front. That's a very unusual sight. Conrad's in on mediums. That could be a brave call as well. We'll find out how he does there, but there's a lot of people 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th and 15th all pitted there, and they've all gone for medium tyres, so they've decided to change strategy just like that. So that's it's fascinating. It's very exciting when people at the back change their strategy like that, because you definitely need to keep an eye on them later on in the race. But for now you've got just some safety car running, and at this point it's not really much to update people on. It still looks nice and bright out there. Definitely this is the safety car that Speed Knighton was hoping for, a safety car to try and help him with a potential top 5 finish, I guess, but I don't think he meant on corner 3 of the first lap. I think he was hoping about halfway through the race he could change strategy and just really catch out everyone else, but we'll see. At the moment he's in a good position still. He needs to stay cool. And we have another lap at least of safety car tactics, I guess we can call it. It's not really racing, he's just circulating. But yes, I am very much looking forward to the restart of this. It should be coming at the end of this lap, I would imagine, as everyone seems to have caught up now, so I'm pretty sure we'll be all action very shortly. We are going on board with Quintin just to see those lights go out, and when they do, you will see all the drivers start to back off a little bit and just to give themselves some space to get a good clean restart, because safety cars do breed safety cars, of course. We know this, we've seen it before, and we will likely see it again. Quintin expected it to come in. The lights are still on though, but he's starting the protest now. It's almost a formality at this point. I think it will be in. Very shortly we should see the lights go off and the message come through from race control that the debris and all the collisions have been cleared up from. Still there. But I'd be surprised. There you go. The lights are out. Safety car's in this lap. And now Quintin can re-begin the process of warming up his tyres, keeping them in the window, and trying to judge when to go. Of course he can go at any point he chooses, but he's probably going to wait until the final chicane has been negotiated safely. No point going before. Cold brakes, it wouldn't be a good idea to try that now, so he's just going to wait and hold and not go. He's keeping a steady speed, as you can see from his steering wheel there. He can go whenever he wants. And he's using to go now, which is what I thought he would do. And here comes the restart, and this is going to be electric into turn 1. Let's see how many Nadine can get through into P2. Can he get past Mackie? I don't think he will. The run is not really long enough, but is there going to be any more action into turn 1 to cause another safety car? Let's hope not, but let's see what happens as he come around turns 1 and 2. Pretty clean this time around. I think we're okay there. Let's go back to the back of the field, see if there's anything else going on in the midfield issues. Did Trav get back in? Yes, he did. I know he's having problems at the end of qualifying, which is what the delay was for, but he seems to have a much better connection time of it in the race so far, but he's down in P14, so that's not really good enough for the race leader, but at this stage it doesn't really hurt him too much. As Conrad's only in P5, but if Conrad and Mackett finish 1-2, then he's going to have a real headache on his hands if he can't find a way through the field. But that's for later on in the race, and Knighton's down into P8 as Alonso's just gone past him, but can he come back into the hairpin? No, but it's always worth having a look to see if he can catch out the guy in front sleeping, but he couldn't on that occasion. But let's see how the drive strategy is working out for some of these guys. And here comes the Renault. That's a McLaren of Alonso, which, oh well, Quintin's just gone fastest of the race, which is fair enough, but I expect that to be beaten at some point in the race. But Ray, Knighton and Vino come in. Has Knighton got damage after that? Yes, he has. The end blade's off. I'm not sure where that happened, but that could explain why you lost the position there, because the delta wasn't really big enough for it, and then all of a sudden maybe he's clicked the wall and that's put Alonso through. But anyhow, they're both in the pit lane now, so we'll see there. No, Alonso's not in the pit lane. Who did pit? There was a McLaren in the pits, I'm sure of it. What was going on now? Sure I saw a McLaren pit. He went straight on. Anyway, I'm confused. I'm old and I'm slow, but anyhow, let's just enjoy this race for what it is, and it should be absolutely fascinating on the final 31 laps. So much has happened already, and there's so much still to bring you. Can't wait to bring you all the action here at SAF1 Esports, and that was hard to say. Let's just see when some of these cars are going to start trying to DRS enable, so that should help out some cars like, well, anyone that's within a second of the car in front really. And Conrad's in again. Has he got damage there? Yep, looks like he lost some end plate of sprung, so he's now really hampered, and it's not a great day at all so far for the championship leaders. Let's just remind ourselves of where we stand on that. Quintin's controlling this race superbly so far, but anything can happen in the world of Formula 1 esports, and very often does. So yeah, we have Trav, Mackie and Conrad in the top 3 there. Mackie's the only one of the 3 that's in the top 3 of the race, so that's going to help him a lot. And Trav at this stage is having his championship league cut a lot, but he'll still maintain it, because as we know in this league there's 30 points for the win plus 2 for completing the race, and possible 1 more for fastest lap of the race, so it's not over yet. But he does have more than a race wins advantage over Mackie, but Mackie's having a very good race so far, and that could close the gap down to about 8 or 9 points depending on fastest lap, so that's one to keep an eye on for later. It's Mercedes 1, 2, and briefly it was Mercedes safety car and 1 and 2, so 3 at the front there for Mercedes. But of course now we have Williams, who's taken on some Mercedes in real life, so that's, and there you go, Speed Knighton's on it already, 11.3, new fastest lap of the race. That will give him some much needed confidence. Let's check out how Nadim's doing. Is he going to build up much of a gap over the next lap from Zardi in the racing point? Which looks like Williams has been out in the sun too long, or the other way around, all the colours been bleached out of it. Anyway, I don't know what I mean. It's a bit of a battle down there for Trav. and P10, Quintin P9. Let's just see who's going to come out in front. DRS is now activated, and you can see the effect it's having. Quintin and Trav have it, so it's nullified the advantage of Trav with Quintin, and he's had a bit of a mistake there. He's slow, and that means the Matter's going to take the position. Trav's made a terrible mistake there, and he's clicked the wall. I think he may have got away with it, but it's definitely not where you want to be. But Risky's had a bit of a moment coming out of turn 2. That gives Quintin the opportunity to turn 3, but Risky recovers just in time to cover the gap, and Conrad goes quickest at the front of the field there. So, well, not the front, but not even at the front, is he? He's in P12. I'm an idiot. Well, track limits for Vino there, that's not helpful, but Risky, Quintin, oh, Risky's just let the both by. I don't know what's going on there. Maybe he's... Does he have damage? Looks like he might have a little bit of damage on the left end plate of the car there. Just go on board with him and see if I can actually see how true that is. Yep, there's definitely something falling off there. So that's why you let them through. Luckily this track's a little bit more forgiving in that respect. If you've got a little bit of bodywork like he has, it's not going to be too difficult to recover and get back to the pit lane, as the Renault of Trav is also in. So I'm not sure what happened there. Maybe he's just had enough of the tyres, had enough of... Well, maybe he's trying something different. Maybe he's assuming the safety car is going to go on hards, and then there you go, he's going on hards. No, someone's on hards. That's Risky on hards. Conrad there, the top of the timing sheets. But Ray and Speed Knighton are going to have a look at each other. Knighton's going to try and force his way through into turn 2, but no, there's a little bit of contact, but I don't think there's any damage there. But Knighton's going to be a little bit annoyed that possibly feel that there wasn't enough space given there, but that's not for me to say. I didn't see it properly. So Trav's at the back of the field. Risky's on the fresh hard, so he's a little bit slower than Trav for now, but Risky's not in a terrible position, even though he's down in P14 right now. There's a lot of people ahead of him that still have to pit, and he's on a better tyre to get him to the end, so watch out for him later. Talking of pit lane, you have Nadim in, you have Zardi in, and you also have Quintin in, so Mackett will lead. And let's just see if anyone else shouldn't. No, I don't think anyone else will pit yet. Everyone's just been in or on medium, so don't need to, so it's Mackett. You know, obviously, yeah, Quintin was the lead Mercedes, so he would have first refusal on pit stop. So it's going to be interesting to see where Mackett comes out. Is he going to be held up at all? Is he going to go out in front of his pit lane, in front of the teammate? I meant to say behind his teammate. We're going to keep an eye on him. As this yellow flag in sector 3. There's a red car just stationary there in the pit lane. Not really sure who that is. Oh, Vino's retired in the pit lane. I think that's what that is. And his car's just disappeared. What is going on? This should be Mackett pitting, but has he done enough on this in lap to get out in front of his teammate? We will find out. Clear track, and there's the advantage of being in front. You can just cruise into the pit lane. You don't have to worry about it. You know you're going to be overtaken, but it's a question of where you're going to come out. Let's just go on board with him and see if his teammate will be overtaken, and let's just see. It should be quite tight, this one, actually, as Alonso's in as well. Let's just see the battle of the Mercedes. Looks like it's going to be Mackett just about, but Quintin will have the momentum as he comes around turn 2, but that is Mackett. He's jumped his teammate in the pit lane, so the undercut did not work there. Maybe Quintin got held up, I don't know. There was yellow flags, maybe that played a part of it as well, but for now Mackett is in front of his teammate. But these two are always together on track at some point in the race, whether it's at the front or at the back or in the middle, as they seem to be today, so it's good to see them always nose to tail with each other at various stages of a race. So Mackett has the fresher tyre and the advantage of track position, but Quintin will have DRS, so let's just see the battle of these teammates come down to the wires. Nadim He's also on the back of there, and then he's also got Conrad with him, and they both have DRS, so this could be a never-ending DRS train if things keep going the way they are. Let's just see if you can read any of these pit boards. Not at that speed. I've tried. Don't even know what they're for. I just see a bunch of pixelated numbers. Anyhow, let's just stay with this battle because this looks like it could be going on a while and it's getting exciting, so why change to something else? Oh, Knighton's got a track limit infringement, so that's not good for him. But there's 5 there with track limit infringements, unless one of them was speeding in the pit lane. But Vino's out of this Grand Prix, and I'm not sure why. I think it was a manual timer in the pit lane. I saw a red car stationary, but then he just disappeared. I don't even know if he's left the session or not. But in any event, there's still a lot to play for some of these guys. Yeah, that's the back of the battle there. Look at that. 8, 7, 6, 5th. Can probably see 4th as well in the same shot sometimes. So this is fascinating stuff. If they keep going on like this is going to be quite a blockbuster finish. Quintin's also got track limit warnings there as well up in P2, so it would hamper him a little bit if the race ended now, but he's got enough time in the race to build up a gap so it doesn't really affect him too much at the end. But even so, here comes Conrad on the Deem. The Deem won't want to give this up easily, but looks like Conrad is the quicker driver right now. Both on the same compound. Oh, Conrad, there's a yellow. Knighton's out of the race. Knighton is out of the race. What's happened? Where has that happened? Turn. Okay, the exit of turn 2. Looks like he may have had a collision with someone, and that's put him into the wall. And as I said earlier, there's absolutely nothing wrong with the car apart from the fact that the wheel's fallen off. But anyway, now let's yell flag. Please don't ruin this race. Here comes Quintin. Is he going to get past? Nope, he's not. He thought about it, but Phantom was well within his rights to take that line. Didn't do anything wrong, but here comes Nadim with that little bit of a with a block from Phantom. Has that given Nadim the opportunity? But not quite yet. But into turn 2, Nadim seems a little bit wide and deep there, so he's not going to get past just yet. But that's also going to give Conrad the impetus to think he's just made a mistake there. Can I make him do another one? Here comes a fascinating battle ahead of us. I really don't know where to look at this point. It's absolutely amazing. Phantom, Quintin, Nadim and Conrad all together on track. With Quintin in the Haas, close it up on the race leader Calvin. Of course, neither of those have pitted yet. Oh no, they have actually. Well, that count doesn't quite make sense. So everyone's pitted are these ones. Let's check that. Fastest lap is there. What am I doing? Yeah, okay, everyone but Phantom have pitted. Okay. Having said that, in he goes. The team's just got track limit warnings. But more than that, he's about to lose a position to Conrad. Can Conrad muscle his way through? He's got the better line for turn 2. He's not giving up easily. You wouldn't want to see that. He's just not going to give up. But someone's going to have to yield for this corner, and I think Conrad's got the move done, so that's good driving for both of them. They're all aware where they are on track. You can go side by side at some points, but others you have to think, I'm going to get out of this one. But Quintin's next for Conrad, but Nadim's going to be focused on trying to get back past Conrad. He wants P5, he wants more now, he wants a podium again. He had a string of like 3 or 4 or 5 podiums early on in the season which put him right in contention, but then he's had bad luck of late. Not all of it his fault, especially last week. He had an issue at the start which cost him a race, but he still kept going, which is credit to him. And then here comes Conrad, is looking to line up a move on Quintin. He will have DRS, so Quintin's going to be vulnerable to 2 cars here, as they're both going to have DRS. But I think the team is too far back to try anything, but Conrad's just got down the inside of Quintin there and takes a good line through the final chicane, and the team's like, yep, I'm going to do that next time around. But by that time, Conrad will probably be gone, and there's a yellow flag in Sector 1. I don't really know why. Zardy's having issues. Okay, no, he's got a puncture. That's why. Zardy has a puncture for Zardy. That's a shame. It's a right rear puncture, which is strange. He's on the medium tyre, so he must have had a heavy collision with a wall for that to happen. Or perhaps there's some debris somewhere he's run over it, which is just slightest tyre right in the lamination point. But yep, there you go, there's a spin. That tells you that it's not as easy as it looks to recover the car. I know I said earlier it's easy, but not with a puncture. With the slight wing damage you can, but with a rear puncture you are going to have all sorts of problems. You know, Nadeem and Quintin are trading positions now, just back on time to see that. Had to check out what was going on with the yellow flag and why, but now we know it's a puncture, so we'll see. I'm sure he'll get back to the pits, but Johnny's having all sorts of nightmare, but he is spun around again and stopped on track, I think. Now, if he stopped, he's going to have a real problem getting going. But I'm going to have, I'm curious. He's very, very slow, but he is moving again. That's where he's good. But the leaders are coming around. Could he get lapped before he... I think he's going to get lapped before he gets to the pit lane, because he has to drive so slowly now that is going to cause an infinite yellow, so there shouldn't be any overtaking going on, but he's trying to get out the way, and that's not easy with the puncture. But luckily he's ghosting, so he's just going to go a little bit wide around the the hairpin, and now the leader's going to get battling again. The Matter's up into P3, but here comes Mackett. Can he get back into P3? He was the early race leader not so long ago, but yes, he's back onto the final step of the podium, but that is a long way away. We are 50% through this race, which means there is 50% still to go, but we have Quintin race leader, 50% race distance, Calvin in P2, solid performance for him. He hasn't really done anything wrong at the moment. Mackett into P3, Matter in P4, he's put himself up there as well. Last week he finished on the podium, but had a little bit of an incident, as I mentioned earlier, with Nadeem in turn 1, which dropped him down to 4th. Conrad up in P5 at the moment. He's going to be looking to capitalise upon that later. He will probably... The late safety car will change this race for everybody, so it's not over for anybody. So just keep on plugging around and just driving around, and hopefully you can pick up a position later on in the race. But for now, that battle's over, and now we're focusing on the battle for the lead. You've got P1, 2, 3 and 4 almost within about 2 seconds of each other, and that's great to see. And you've got a back marker of Risky there as well, but he's got DRS, so he's quite rightly going to try and unlap himself, and the Matter gets out of the stream there. It's not really having an effect with him, so there you go. Mackey's has been unlapped by Risky, and he's going to no. I think he thought about it into turn 1, but thought better off it when he saw the ghost car and thought everything's just could end up badly here. So Risky's on quick tyre, so he's just going to put it into Rich, try and unlap himself, which again he's got all the right to do. He's not doing it maliciously, he's not dangerous in that at all, so that is perfectly fine and legit in his approach there. And we are going to get back racing for a battle for the lead again between Quintin, Calvin, Mackett and Matter. And 1 to 4 there in the same portion of track. There's a yellow flag. Don't know why. There's yellow flags all over the place. I really don't care anymore. They're just throwing them for no reason now, I think. There is a car in the pit lane, but I think that's just a stop. It is Rain P11. But Calvin in P3 looks like... Oh, hang on. Conrad's on the back of this battle as well now. It's a top 5 battle. This is brilliant. The Matter's got DRS, but of course Calvin will also have it, so that's neutralised the attack for the Matter. Never mind, Calvin's gone into the pits. The Matter does not. Conrad track limits now, it is exciting. There's only 4 drivers out there that haven't infringed the track limits just yet, and one of them's a ghost. So you'd think that he will be going through them, but no, he's doing a decent job there. Even though he's down in P9, it could be, if there's a very late safety car, P9 could be P3 at the end after penalties. So hang in there, kid. You're doing great. But the Matta's in P3 now and looks to be secure, although Mackett is in P2 and looks to be trying to make a move on Quintin, but no, Quintin blocks it off. But I think Mackett's going to have DRS, so he's going to try again into the final chicane, but he's closer than he's been before by the look of it. He's ever so slightly closer than he was last time around and the time before that, but I think without having to defend from the Matta behind, this could well be the chance for Mackett to move into P1 of this race again. Let's just stay on board with him as Quintin goes defensive. Mackett easily through. We'll have DRS to defend again, and we'll have another blast down the start finish line, which I think is slightly unfair, but never mind. That's the nature of the track. You can't put another activation point there because it's just nowhere for it to be activated. So I suppose it's fair in one way, but harsh in another. And let's have a look at Matta and the VSC Delta boys. Delta. Don't know why there's a VSC. Can you overtake lap cars? One of the VSC. There is a car that's slow, but is he slow because of the VSC, or did he cause the VSC? Nope, Conrad's ignored the yellow flag. That's not going to help. Yeah, I think the car did cause the VSC because he was very slow, and I believe it is the Alpha of Ray down in P11 there that's done that. So let's just, yeah, I think it was. See if it's got any damage. Maybe that's what it was. I don't know. Let's just see what happens on this time around. It is a VSC. Of course, you can pit on a VSC, but no, he's got no damage. Can never tell with the black front wing. You can't really tell. DRS is back, so VSC over. 2 cars are in the pit, so they won't lose as much. But let's just go on the back of Conrad from the point of view of the Matta, who pits now. 19 laps. Quintin's also in, so Mackett and Conrad lead this race. Risky's got a speeding penalty in the pit lane. That's not going to help. His first week here, but he's having a bit of a nightmare so far. But I've seen worse races. Not from him, I just mean in general. So he's doing okay for a debut. It's not too bad. The Ghost has now finally conceded defeat into the track limits and got in on the penalty party there. So we'll see. So we just got the Matta, Calvin, Risky and Mackett, the only ones without track limit infringements. Let's just find a battle. As the VSC sort of supposed to neutralise the race, but everyone seems to have been more spread out than before the VSC even called, so I don't understand how that's quite worked, but we are going to sit on board with Phantom and Calvin at the moment. They are the closest to each other. And there's right there. Yeah, okay. Didn't see what he did, but he's already got a penalty, so he's not going to matter too much, I guess. Risky there with a call for softs. I'm not sure he's going to get to the end on those, but I'm pretty sure he's going to try and put in some quick laps, and then possibly if there's a safety car later on, he'll just put the mediums on and get to the end. But there aren't many more laps to come for a safety car period. There's about another 11, and after that you're on your own, lad. So just do what you can now, so that if there's a safety car you can maximise your result. But just keep going for one. Anyway, what am I talking about? I don't know. There's no gap. There's no battles anymore. How has the virtual safety car spread everybody out? I don't get that one, but unless of course people in battles pit. I don't know. No, I don't think they did. Get the Dean Quintin and Conrad. No, anyway, we'll figure it out later. Let's just take an off-board view of the hairpin. As you can see, different battles going on at sometimes, and you have a look with Zardi there. Put the hammer down, 110.6, fastest lap of the race so far. That's going to take... I don't think that's going to take by the end of the race, but it is going to take some beating at the same time. But Quintin's in for some more tyres. He pitted later than... No, he didn't. He pitted a lap before his teammate, so either he has damage or he's just trying to switch it up because he has a window to do so. So let's see if that means Mackett's going to be on this lap as the second Mercedes driver, although leading this race. So maybe that was just a change of strategy, and Trav's got a track limit warning there, track limit infringement. So it's not all the championship leaders away today, and that's good for his challenges. There's a yellow in sector 1, there's a red orange. Risky's having a problem. Has he got... No, he hasn't got a puncture, which could have explained that, but I think he's just gone in too hot and just spun it round, and never mind. As you were, everybody, and there's fair enough. Alonso down in P11, unlapped himself from Conrad, but he's probably going to get lapped again. There you go, so that was fun. Good job that these boys goes when they're lapped down. Otherwise Conrad would not have been amused. Let's go on board with Conrad, as he's now officially the race leader, but he does have a... Yeah, he does have 5 second and a track limit infringement to worry about, so that's a naughty engine. There you go, the other Mercedes does pit. I don't know what I'm seeing anymore, but yeah, he comes out way ahead of his teammate again. So that, I think Quintin may have had damage, that's why he was in, because how else you could explain that? Anyhow, Mack is in P4 on fresher tyres, but Quintin's on the hards, and that's a great call there. But for these guys to go into the end, I'm not sure whether Nadim or Conrad can, so whether that happens as a Sector 3 yellow flag, orange, I think it's... Risky's retired in the pit lane, I think, yeah. Entertaining debut, but not the one he was going to hope to remember at the end of the season, but it's a nice experience for him to be here in this league, and Nadim's just got a 5 second speeding penalty, so that's not going to help his consistencies there. Look, Mack it a little bit deep, and that's given the Matter a sniff of an opportunity here. Quintin has to back off, but the Matter is not going to have enough time into turn 1 or 2 there, but he could well just hang in there and try it again the next time around into the final corner. Just going to try and regenerate his DRS and his fuel mix, just to try and keep in the window of DRS there, but Quintin's also going to have it as well, so Mack is under a lot of pressure here. There's 10 laps to go, and anyone can still win this race, and I'm looking forward to finding out excuse me, exactly who that is going to be. Let's have a look. Calvin motoring along nicely in P4, but he's now going to be under pressure from Conrad, who is on the soft tyres, so let's just see how fast Conrad can get past Calvin. It won't be too long. Alonso's got another one. Now there's only 2 drivers without one of them, and that could be key if there's a late safety car, or I would say VSC, but that's not really going to change anything for anybody. Although last time around I suspect it wasn't monitored properly, because I'm pretty sure cars spread out under the VSC, which is not supposed to happen, but anyhow. Conrad has not quite gotten past yet, but I think the Matters didn't got past Quintin or Mackett there, so he held on for another lap, which is not at all surprising given the nature of these races. They are competitive, but they are very, very fair with each other, as I'm usually seen, so I just hope we are entertained for the next 8 or so laps till the end of this race, which, if I may say so, has absolutely flown by today. You know, it seems like 5 minutes ago since the first safety car of the race, and now everything's just incredibly... There we go, Conrad's definitely going to get Calvin on this time around. There's no way he's not going to. As he comes around the hairpin, he will have DRS and he will fly past into P4, and that is a good position to be in for him. But of course, he now has to build a gap because of the penalties he's got, which is just the one, so that's not going to cost him too much. But Nadim's got issues today. which we will sort that out later. But there you go, Conrad into P4, and the Matt is down side by side with Quintin, and there's a little bit of contact, and they're both off. Oh, contact. It's happened. And Conrad's going to have an opportunity to sector 1 yellow flag. I'm not surprised, there's a car literally lodged in the wall there, lads. A bit slow with that, but it's cleared now. Not sure exactly who's to blame for that, but we'll put a coffee, put the coffee on for the stewards to figure that one out. It was elbows out kind of driving. I'm not sure who's to blame, as I say, but we'll figure that in. But for now, Matt is P3, and I don't even remember who he was battling. Is that bad? And you know, Calvin's on the back of this battle as well, so he could well capitalise at the end of this race even further if the Matter's punished for that. I don't know whose fault it was, like I say, but Quintin's going all the way down, Madtrav, I can't remember who it was. There's definitely damage there, so it was Quintin, I think, involved. Yeah, I think it was, yeah. He needs a new front wing, and there's another car in as well, the Alpha. Oh no, it's a Haas, sorry, my apologies, I saw red and white and got confused. There's so many cars with that colour scheme, you can't blame this old man. But anyway, new front wings for both Quintin and both Quintins need a front wing. That's not confusing for the commentary at all. Lads, can we have someone called Keith just to make it easier, please? Anyway, Calvin's having a stormer of a race. But Mackett is controlling this race well from the front. Now he's in front. He's got a good gap behind, but of course, at this point I don't know who's going to come second or third with penalties to serve. So stick with us, because I don't think this is going to be decided until the final pixels of the race, as we have 6 laps to go, final 6 laps of this race, which has been as entertaining as I would hope. Let's just find a battle. Matter seems to have backed off a little bit, so he's not really battling anyone at the moment. I think he's trying to save tyres or fuel or ERS to have another goal later on in the race. Calvin not battling anyone. No one's battling anyone at the moment, so let's just give Zardy some camera time, because the last time I saw him he was backwards with the puncture, so let's just give him some glory. Come on, lad. But I haven't said that, he's just kissed the champion's wall, so that's not great timing for me, but I don't. Yeah, he's got no damage there, so he's lucky there, but we will see. We will see. Just how this race finishes is a mystery. But it's been a great one. It's been very great, and it's not over yet, of course. We still have some laps to go, and Ray has a 3-second time penalty, and there's still just the 2 without one. So credit to them for keeping it that clean. I'm sure there will be an argument for any of those to be driver of the day, but we'll sort that out later. Let's see what the game decides first. It could be completely wrong. I'm trying to think who started outside the top 10. I could have a look, but I'm too lazy for that. I mean, I suppose I could. There's not a lot going on, but let's have a look at Quintin. He seems to be on a charge. He seems to be gaining all the time on Phantom. The Ghost is on the same tyre as him, but Quintin just seems so much quicker now. He's a man on a mission. He's a little bit annoyed, and I don't know if I can blame him. I didn't see it properly, as I say, but he seems to be driving with an added sort of get the hell out of my way kind of attitude, which is fair enough, and let's see how much quicker he can get than Phantom. And after Phantom, it's a tough ask to get any more positions than 7th, but he's going to want that 7th place because he deserves so much more than that. But goes Carlos Alonso, gets a nice seat out of the way. He doesn't have to do that, but it's always appreciated from drivers when they do that. So good lad Alonso for that. And let's just see how quickly Quintin can get by Phantom. There's the Wall of Champions just there, which hasn't been, from what I see, the as big a problem as it could have been. Quintin fastest lap there in the Haas. Quintin and Quintin could be battling each other, and that's not going to be easy to say at speed and excitement, is it? I think you've done this on purpose, lads. It's going to be interesting to see which Quintin comes out on top. And as I asked him last week, he's only room for one, giving your name. That was a tongue-in-cheek. I didn't mean anything by it, but it wasn't answered. So Quintin has 3 seconds, or Quintin has 6 seconds, so he has one more end in his name and one more time penalty. Although there we go, there's another one, so that's 2 now. Oh dear. But Quintin is on a charge. The Phantom surely is going to get past this time around. He has DRS. Phantom doesn't know which way to go, and that's a little bit risky, but no problem done. But the front of that Williams used to be white, and now it's sort of a shade of brown as all the fluid just escaped there. But don't think I can say much more than that. It's supposedly a PG stream. Yeah, okay, cheers for that. But we are getting to the current stage of this race where there shouldn't be any more safety cars or VSCs, because it is the last few laps of the race. So pretty much as you were now, and just go and get what you can get. The Deem is on the back of Calvin here. Let's just see. It's not going to make much difference come the end of it with the penalty situation, but I'm excited to see how it takes as it is. And let's see the Deem. Carbon copy of what we just saw from Quintin there and Phantom. But is Quintin going to get past Phantom? You know, Quintin just did, and I was confusing myself. Quintin in the Mercedes got past Phantom, but can Quintin in the Haas? But I don't think so. He's too far back at this stage. 4.5 seconds between the two. Not really sure how that happened. He was right on the back of it. But anyway, I don't think Calvin's going to try and come back. He knows he's got less penalties than the guy in front. He's just going to try and sit in the window, and he'll pass him at the line. But nevertheless, it's good to see this comeback ability from Nadeem. He's had a bit of a slow start to this race, but he's come up nicely in the second half. But unfortunately, he's picked up a couple of penalties. But Conrad there, Quintin there, also gets. So this, I have absolutely no idea who's going to come 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 12th at this point. Well, I think I know who's going to come 12th. Ow. Have a look. No, yeah. I think that's the only one I'm sure of at this point. Ray could drop, but I don't know. Let's just pretend no one has any penalties. Everyone's done at least 2 stops today, and some 3 or more. It's just a bit of an attritional race where front wings keep being chipped off on cars or bits of wall, or in my case around this track once debris knocked off my front wing, so that was fun. It's on the racing line out of Wall of Champions, but anyway, that's for another day. Tales of a disgruntled bald commentary team. Anyhow, Phantom, can he get back towards Quintin in the final lap? We are on the final lap of the race now. Lap 35 of 35. That's come very quickly, but it looks as though Mackett is controlling this race. And he's definitely had a good race today, which is what he needed to get back into the championship after his early lead. He stumbled for the next few rounds, but he's suddenly found a rhythm again, and he's been on the podium a couple of times, so it looks like Mackett is going to win, and he does. He wins the Canadian Grand Prix. Conrad's 2nd, but is he going to keep it? Matt is 2nd on track, but I'm not sure he'll keep that. I don't know at this point. The team will be 4th on track, but Calvin will jump him. Possibly Conrad too. No, Calvin jumps him there. Matt Trav 6th. I don't know what's going on anymore. Like I said, it's not over till the last picks of the race, and Matt Trav will cross in 6th. But Quintin should jump him, I think. Well, let's just say it wasn't to be 3 in a row for Conrad, but still a solid podium for him. Which we'll talk to him very shortly, I'm sure, if Sony lets him join this week, because he had issues joining last week, which is why the interviews were short. I did try, but let's just see the final couple of cars cross the line, and here comes Ray to cross the line. Final one, the lead lap. Right. I think Murray would have liked that one. And the Ghost wins driver of the day from the game as he gained the most positions, presumably, but I've got my own thoughts on that, which we'll share later, but never mind. Let's just see the podium celebrations and the official rundown. Well, I say provisional because I don't know the results of any issues or penalties, and there you go, walk like you need some vitamin C, lad. That's what you're doing there. I don't know why I said that. I'm just... Oh, my voice is gone. Wow. All that champagne confetti. I never usually see it for this long because I'm never on the podium. But I just forgot to press a button. But now we are going through the orders. We have Mackett in provisional winner, Matta provisional P2, but I don't know if he'll keep that. Conrad P3, Calvin. Shout out to him on his debut. That's a fantastic result for him. The Dean P5. All the penalties didn't really cost him all that many positions in the end, so he got to be relieved with that one. Mad Trav, of course. His championship lead will be cut a little bit, but he'll still have a healthy one coming us next week, which the official results will be announced at the weekend. I will remind everyone next week. But Phantom, the Ghost in P7, driver of the day for most positions gained, but I guess you could argue with that. Quintin there in the Haas. P9, Ray, P10, Alonso. Zardi a lap down but finished, and then you have Risky retired in the pit lane, Speed 9 retired in a wall. Vino, I don't even know what happened to him. It was so early on I didn't see it. But I'm just waiting for people to go and talk to the press. Or next week is, I'll mention it now, next week is the circuit at Le Castellane, France. It's a very different kind of track, which I think they should make it more fun just by changing the chicanes every lap, just to keep it that way. But here comes the race winners, just joined us, and we're waiting for the other two. But don't know if P2 will join us. I'm sure P3 will be with us very shortly. But I could hardly take a breath in that race. It was pretty hectic. So wonder how the drivers are feeling. They're probably just trying to regain their breath as well. But I guess as the winner has joined us, it's only fitting to start with him. So congratulations on another podium, and this time it's the top step. How was it out there for you, and were there any issues that could change the result behind you that you know of?
Firstly, thanks, man. Appreciate it. It was really just a smooth race, man. Nothing major happened, no incidents. It was just a smooth race on my part.
Well, yeah, you definitely looked in control, and it was good to see you get the better of your teammate today with the pit stops. You gained so much where he lost out. Do you think he was caught in traffic, or?
No, that was interesting. So we were chilling in the party, obviously as teammates. We talked to each other, and we could see Nadeem was dropping back. But he caught us a bit in the second section, which suggests that he had more downforce than us. We managed to pull about a 3-second or 2-second gap on him. And obviously Quintin, as the lead driver, he gets to choose when he wants to pit, and he pitted.
you could tell, I called it a commentary, it's like you've definitely had a good opportunity here to extend your lead on your teammate, and you did. And usually you sort of come out second best in pit stop, so it's good to see you come out on top this time. And yeah, it's France next week. How do you feel ahead of that one?
But France, I'm really looking forward to it. Very nice, fast track, fast corners, and yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, Canada's always a favourite of mine, so it's good to see it was a sensational race. I'm not really sure what to expect next week, but I think rain could change that race. So do you want rain, or do you want it to be dry, or do you not really care?
I don't have a preference. I just take it as it comes. I just love the track.
Fair enough. I'm not expecting that response, but we'll see what happens next week in France. It looks like the other people on the podium are having issues joining again, so I will give them a few more moments to try and join me, but not really sure why. But anyhow, it's been good to talk to you, and I will say congratulations on your win, and well done again.
Cheers, thanks, buddy.
Yeah, so I'm just waiting for possibly Conrad to join us. Don't really know why he hasn't yet, but let's just give him a few more seconds before I round off the stream. He's definitely been invited to the party, I can tell you that, because I spoke to him the last 2 weeks, so he didn't have issues then. I don't know what's going on now, but let's just make sure he can actually get in the party. I'm sure he will, but yeah, he's definitely already in the party, so don't know why he's not able to join us, which is a shame. But I guess, oh, hang on, someone's just joined as I say that. Oh, there we go. It's P2 has joined me, so that was good timing, sir. Well, let me just say congratulations for your P2, your first of the season. You must be happy with that.
Shame Conrad obviously picked up that extra penalty, or else he would have had me. But yeah, no, Mackie's pace was just too good to be fair. So yeah, GG on the win, mate.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, we hoping for a slightly later safety car to bring you back into contention, or are you just happy enough with second place as it is?
Yeah, I was hoping for a bit of a late safety car, and then I picked up that penalty, and then I picked up a penalty. So yeah, just carry on now.
Yeah.
Brought it home to. I was happy with P3 to be fair, but P2's an extra bonus.
Yeah, it's always tricky to try and pad out the gap, but congrats on your P2. And next week we have France. How do you go down there, and you're looking forward to it?
France, I like France. Yeah, I'm sure Conrad will be back to his 1.5 seconds quicker than everyone else. But yeah, no, it should be fun. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah, I asked the race winner this. Do you want it to rain next week, or do you not care? Oh, well, there you go. He doesn't get it. He's off the practice already by the sound of it. But anyway, congrats on your P2, and we'll see you next week. I'll move on to P3, who's finally been able to join us after the party issues. So welcome back to the party, and congrats on another podium.
Thanks, yeah, it wasn't one of the smoothest races. I had to make an extra pit stop. Yeah, got some damage from someone hitting me at the back into another car after the safety car restart. Stayed out for 2 laps, went into the pits again. So, and yeah, I got a 5-second penalty that should be removed because of a spin car out on track that was stationary, and the game told me to give the position back. But yeah, I knew that the position or the 5-second penalty would be removed. So yeah, just kept on pushing. So yeah, all in all, had great pace, definitely pace to win, but well done to Mackett. He had an amazing race, no penalties. Yeah, straightforward for him. Well done, and yeah, looking forward to France next week. Wouldn't say I'm the fastest, but it's definitely a fun track to drive.
Well, I look forward to seeing a decent battle next week, and there was some monumental battles out there today. As you can probably tell, I'm a little bit hoarse now, and my voice is pretty much gone, so thanks guys for that. I'll rest up and bring it back for next week, but I think, as you discussed France already, and we'll leave it there, and I will like to thank Ram Solar Renewable Energy for their sponsorship and helpfulness of the league, and if you want to check them out, you can go to ramsolar.co.za, and we will see you next week in the Le Castellet in France. So until then, good night everybody, stay safe, and goodbye Mr. Murray Walker.